performance in music composition at UMKC, but my primary axe is the banjo. And my goal with the banjo is to show the versatility of the banjo outside of the folk and bluegrass world. I'm interested in an expansive sound. I'm moving further and further away from the folk and bluegrass world. I can hang, and I love it. But just to give you a taste, it all started in 2016 when I released Moods and Meltdowns with Chase Horseman, who is getting a lot of love today. So to give you a taste, sound, so that was me playing clarinet with my friend Mark on bassoon, and just interested in pairing instruments with the banjo. My work, I'm not afraid to take you to where you don't want to go. I'm not afraid to get you into the shadow of your mind, and my work has been described as like misty and melancholic. I'm still there in terms of lyrics, but I just started working with a band, and they're really leveling me up. And when we first got together, I looked to my drummer, Matt Ritchie, who also plays for the Grizzly Hand. I looked at him and I said, no folk beats, no train track beats, no country beats. And so to give you an idea of where my sound is at now, this is from our latest show at the Rhino. We're not a cover band, we're not a restaurant band, a wedding band, hotel band. I do those gigs to supplement my income as a solo artist, so I'll do it solo, but I'm not going to bring my band. I could, that's a challenge because it doesn't fulfill me to play covers. It doesn't fulfill me to play weddings, honestly. So the challenge that I face is I have to play, or I don't have to, but I play mostly venues where it's up to me to market, to draw in an audience, to get door money. So it's door money. And so my band, we rehearse, 2-hour rehearsals before each show. And on average, we make $100 at the door, split 4 ways. That's $25 each, which is $5 an hour, which is under minimum wage. Thankfully, the guys in my band have day jobs, some of them extremely well-paying corporate jobs, whereas I am a full-time artist living off of my music and my jewelry, and I'm also a music teacher. But again, that is not generating corporate income. So the importance of merch, whether I'm playing for 5 people or 500 people, it's really important for me to put out my merch. Thankfully, I have another artistic medium, and that's making jewelry out of bones and stones, and I sell those at a higher price. So on average, if I sell 2 pieces at $25, that's $50, which is really great when I'm touring solo. That can help me get to the next town on top of the door money. And I'm pretty DIY. I don't have a record label or a manager, so I make my CDs, I burn them, I get nice cardstock, and I print out the artwork, and I super glue and glue stick it. And I sell my EPs for, around $10. So it's really important as musicians, like not only do we have to think about the music we're writing, we have to be really innovative in what we sell with our merch. So Chase just started selling coffee mugs, and there's t-shirts and totes, and I'm working my way up to getting there. But it costs money to make money, or more like costs money to like break even is kind of what it is as a musician. So I'm making money, but not really. And so my goal is to produce an album by 2020. This is Chase right there. So studio time and mixing, that's 4,000, and that is extremely low because Chase is my best friend. That is like a really low number. But on top of that, paying my musicians, paying artwork, video, and promotion. And I am planning on launching an Indiegogo, which is like a Kickstarter, and I'm also planning on doing Patreon. So Indiegogo is like, this is the pre-sale for the product, whereas Patreon, that's the behind the scenes. That's where you get to see the process for a couple bucks to put gas in my tank and coffee in my mug. And my goal is to take that album on the road. This is from the first tour that I took through the Appalachian Mountains. And so my goal is to take my music on the road. I will have to tour solo, again, because my band has day jobs. So it's really great that I can tap into both like the solo market, doing house shows, and the bigger market with my band. But my goal is to go on the road, take it to festivals. And my challenge is, I have to do all the marketing, I have to do all the booking, I have to reach out to art fairs, I have to reach out to people, and it's up to me to do that. And so the challenge is casting the net for the crowdfunding. The challenge is also making a livable wage. I have to feed my cats, I have a snake too, and rats are expensive. And I would really like to pay a manager to do booking for me and to do social media, and also finding more places where my music will fit. I think we all thrive, especially as musicians. We thrive best when people are actually listening and paying attention to us. So what I need is money, time, and a manager. Don't we all? Yeah, I need time to do the booking because I find that most of my days are taken up at the computer sending those emails and doing the booking, but I also need time to write my songs. And I need money to have the time to do that. Where, you know, again, I'm a full-time artist, and I'm grasping at little straws to bring in rent. Do not make me go back into the service industry. The only time I ever want to fill your cup of coffee is when you're at my house and we're having a really good conversation. So I'm doing everything I can to not go back. And this is where you can find me. I know that's something we brought up during the Q&A. Liking our Instagram and our Facebook is extremely important. Bookers look at that. They look at how many likes you have on Facebook. They look at how many likes you have on Instagram. So one way to really help an artist out is to just simply like their artist page. No, honestly, I never go to artist websites. You know, who does? And if you do, that's awesome. But I'm interested in an artist's Instagram, and that has been how I've cast my net the widest, is through Instagram. I'm talking to indie artists in Mexico to go down and play in Mexico, and that's all through the use of hashtags, where I'm connecting with other artists from other parts of the country, and through Instagram. When it comes time for me to book my long-term tour, I've got so many people that I can reach out to, and that's just through Instagram. So it's really important to follow an artist's Instagram and just be involved in what they're doing. And you can also find my work on Spotify.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
do workshops off of Instagram too. So especially if you're traveling, and especially to, is it New Mexico or Mexico? You said
Mexico.
you might actually then be able to do a workshop on American music.
Yeah,
there.
absolutely.
Other questions?
It's a great presentation. It's really terrific. It's a terrific job today.
Oh, thanks.
It's nice to have the snippets of your music for people that aren't familiar with it. I love the new sound you're working on your band, so I can't wait to hear the new album.
Thank you.
You have so much creative talent and energy. And it's frustrating, I know, to have to spend so much of your time doing things that are administrative and that kind of detail-oriented. I know you're good at details, but part of it's about trying to position yourself maybe or prepare yourself for those rare opportunities for a lot of money, like maybe licensing your music for a film or a commercial or something. I wish there was a way to figure out how to tap into that kind of a market
Yeah.
to provide you with that surge of revenue that just,
Right. It's all about tapping into that
yeah.
and
But
finding
that's,
that energy to send that email to tap into it.
well, I swear it's almost more coincidence than anything else, it seems. I don't know that there's any way to try to make that happen, although I do believe that, when you visualize those kinds of things, and I don't know, maybe it's somehow getting involved in the film community here. There's a really strong film community here.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if, by chance, you worked with some of them on,
Worked with who?
some of the film community here.
Oh,
Some of
I
the-
do. I work with Matt Lloyd and Jacqueline Danger of Stray Cat Film Center.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I do have a really beautiful 3-song music video that was beautifully shot that they directed.
Yes.
So I'm also really thankful that I do have videographers that are also extremely great friends of mine. So it's like making friends with people who have the sources that you need.
Now that you mention it, I remember that video. It's terrific. Is there an easy way for your fans to find that? Is it still out there?
Yeah, it's out there.
Oh, okay.
It's right on the YouTubes.
All right, that's
Also, the Visit KC has a film director on staff, and they put out a directory of local musicians who write for film or can do custom music for film. So that's a good directory to get on.
Cool.
And then 2, have you looked at your jewelry, because it's very unique, and I think there's some stores in Kansas City that specifically would like to carry it. I haven't seen it, that style in other places. And yeah, maybe the Kemper. Have you looked at venues to sell your jewelry?
Yeah, so that's like where I need time because I'm juggling 2 art forms. This was mostly about my music, but I am working on bringing my jewelry. It's being sold at Oracle, and I'd love to have it sold at Supernatural Piercings, and the Kemper would be awesome. So it's just, if you guys know where you think my jewelry would fit, please let me know, because I'm ready to expand that as well.
Other question? Can you go back to one of your needs, challenges, or goals slide?
Okay, well, here's the challenges.
Have you contacted managers are you, if you had those discussions? I think that's my next step, so that I'm interested in.
Yeah, there's friends that I really want to be my manager.
Yeah.
But again, I don't know how to go about it, and I don't know like what it costs to have a manager to do the booking, especially for DIY. Yeah, that's like my biggest hurdle right now is like, who do I talk to, and but also like the thing is like I want control of all of my work. So
Right.
it's like, I don't want a manager that's like, you should do this, like, you just book, you know, like, unless it fits with my vision. So it's like, to find somebody who's like-minded with my vision, that's my challenge.
It's daunting, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to just mention what a rare combination of talents you have. When you think of banjo player, you don't think of someone who could compose music or orchestrate music.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking of that as something that you might be able to capitalize on, the combination of talents you have. And I'm just sitting here kind of brainstorming. You know, you go on the road and you try to book clubs and make $50 here, $50 there, and come home with a few pennies in your pocket and hopefully some fans. I have heard of famous performers, people like Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They'll come to town, they'll hire an orchestra to play their arrangements. They'll have like one rehearsal that day and then perform or something. You've probably played with them, or you've had friends who have. So perhaps you could do a similar thing, like say every town has a couple of string quartets, people who play wedding gigs, or maybe a woodwind quintet or something. That where you could arrange a show's worth of music and contact through your set of contacts in another community this an ensemble to perform with you, and you actually make a splash because it's a special event. And then it could happen, in another community. It's not the same as like going on tour. But it's just a thought that came to me.
Right. So I'm actually trying to tap back into that. The bug to compose has just bit me again, and so I teach clarinet and saxophone, and so I do want to do more composition things. I do want to write more for little ensembles, and so I know that this was focused on my singer-songwriter stuff, but I have like a whole lot of other things that I'm also doing, and so I am tapping into doing that and putting on more special events that are more just compositions like that, and just tapping into that market and doing more playing and getting booked as a clarinetist. I'm slowly but surely putting myself out there as a clarinetist again.
That's great. And also as a singer-songwriter, having hiring a band, that is hiring a chamber ensemble to be your band where you play somewhere.
I need to do that. It's weird that I haven't. I've done it. I've done arrangements for Claire Adams, Claire on the Crowded Stage. I've done it for her, and I worked with like Black House Collective, but the fact that I haven't done it for myself yet is weird.
Also, another merchant, also a UMKC grad who prefers the banjo is Calvin Arsenio, and I've seen him pair with other musicians. Have you looked at pairing with him?
Oh, we've paired many times.
Okay, good. Because he has a wonderful fan base too to tie into. So, okay, great.
Hi, my name's Rob Sansonetti. I'm a contemporary of these two. One thing I wanted to say is that as musicians, what I like to see more of is us reaching out to each other, giving each other a heads up. Hey, this place, there's a good venue here. They're looking for musicians. I even thought about making a page where we could put a list of all the menus and what they pay, and if they're a good place to play, not a good place to play. I don't know.
I think of like those old hobos that would like mark on a signpost next to it, like it's like doesn't have food, you know.
Well, one of the things I try to do when I'm not performing, which is almost all the time anymore, is I try to come to stuff like this and to support you guys and support other musicians that I know, get out and meet people.
Yeah.
But I'm in a band too, Burley Creek Revival, and it's been a real challenge because, I mean, it's really a lot more fun playing with a band,
Right.
but you don't make any money.
Right, yeah, I definitely make
So I'm
way
having
more
to-
money solo.
I've decided to revert back to being a solo musician again for the most part, and I changed the name from Rob Sansonetti to Mojave Rob so that I could have merchandise, because no one wants to buy a shirt that says Rob Sansonetti on it. But if it says Mojave Rob and has a snake and a skull or something like that, you know.
That's
and then-
great.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to build a brand with that. And anyway, that's just another idea. I'm just trying to throw it once.
Any questions?
This was such an interesting presentation, and you're so talented. I'm wondering, there's a group on Facebook called Innovator Her. It's and it's women in business and all sorts of different arenas in Kansas City. And one thing I've noticed being in that group is they're constantly helping each other out with ideas. You know, either presentations for business or grants or things like that. And it's not necessarily arts related, but you know, the women that run Strawberry Swing are in there, and you know, so I think there'd be perhaps opportunities. Somebody asked for a female comedian for Kansas City, who'd be great, and they were giving ideas. So maybe if you joined even some of those groups.
Yeah,
in Kansas
absolutely.
City,
Yeah, I'll join.
You know, they,
As many groups as I
you know, really want to raise women up in Kansas
Yeah.
City.
I think, oh, there it is. Don't make me go back.
I love the idea of you finding some ways to scale things up.
Scale things up?
Yeah, so you're looking for more, opportunities of a higher return on your time.
Yeah, I mean, if you know where I'm gonna do that.
Well, here's kind of a radical idea. Your jewelry work.
Go ahead. Keep going.
Your jewelry work is really beautiful
Thank you.
and sculptural.
Thank you.
And I wonder if you ever think about doing actually some
Yeah.
larger pieces.
Again, that's one of those like on my to-do list to do bigger bone pieces, doing bigger bone sculptures. I've never tapped into the gallery market, but I would love to. Yeah, I would absolutely love to. I've got really big bones waiting for me to do something with them.
I can see that would be, if you can start to do that, and that's a long-term goal, but
Right, yeah.
that work is beautiful.
Thank
And,
you.
do you document all of your jewelry?
Yeah, so yes, I have an Instagram and a Facebook page for my jewelry as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that that's something in the future might be something you'd be really good at. And you
Absolutely, thank
could Do
you.
well with.
Do you, you might have had it in there, but it seems like it would be natural that like if you had to buy a t-shirt for your musician stuff, you would have your bone stuff on it at the same time.
You know, my musicians do wear
Okay.
my jewelry. It's actually really cute. Yeah. And it's really cool because, you know, it's fun to see my work out in the wild. And I love that, like, sometimes people will come to my shows and they'll be wearing pieces that I've made. And they're like, I knew I was coming to see you, so I wore your piece. And it's really great. Yeah.
But like on a t-shirt for your band.
Yeah. They do that. Yeah.
Other questions? Can you flip to one of your other slides? On time management, I have a great article on time management that I can share with the both of you.
I do have goals, challenges, and needs. Here we go.
And have you looked into doing art fairs and such?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Again, it's knowing. I've reached out to Strawberry Swing. It's knowing who to reach out to. So if you guys know like art fairs that I should reach out to, both for my music and for my jewelry, I would love to do that. And the hard challenge with that is it costs for a booth. Again, it's the whole making money to break even sort of thing. But if you guys know where my jewelry or my music or what art fairs that would work well with, I would love to hear.
So Katie of Strawberry Swing at our next forum. She'll be a speaker.
Very cool.
And then too, she's a good source, and she has a lot of people getting her attention, but she's a good source as well to ask. Who else should I go to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Artsinthepark.org has an opening right now for market in November.
Okay.
They're Missile Market, and they would be perfect for jewelry, and it's really inexpensive.
Very cool. I will definitely look at that.
Yeah.
Arts in the Park.
And
Okay.
they do a couple festivals a year, so.
Okay.
It's in North Kansas City.
Oh, sweet. North Kansas City. All right.
All right, we have time for one more question.
I don't know if you've heard this of this woman. I think her name is Myrna, and she did pottery. And twice a year she'd have an open house with her pottery.
Yes.
And for sale. And you know, once around Christmas time and maybe the next one around Valentine's, I don't know.
Yeah.
But her whole house was open and the backyard and things were for sale and people just came by.
I did that over the summer. I'm going to do it again around Halloween because my stuff is real spooky. But I'm also going to do it around Christmas because spooky people like to buy spooky things at Christmas too.
Actually, we have an artist that does hair art, and she sells well at biker events. So that's
yeah.
Hardcore Harley Davidson
Yeah.
bikers. Not cyclists. So, but they would like your stuff. So
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely, my stuff belongs at more macabre, biker, oddities, curiosities. I do run into, actually, that's not true. I love doing the more like traditional art fairs because there's nothing more hilarious to me than a bunch of like white women giggling at my booth, at my bones. They're like, that sounds weird, but then they end up buying it because it's so weird. And that's who I am. I'm so weird that you can't help but enjoy my stuff, you know? So I love doing all sorts of fairs, but I definitely try to do as many like macabre events as I can do.
great.
Another outlet would be the wine walk in Delaware.
Oh yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jennifer Saw, I believe, owns it, so.
Okay, very cool.
Got John gigs for that last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you again.
All right. Well, we're coming to an end. So, is there anything we have yet to help you with, or you would like to stress? As we have
I think I'm gonna stress social media, and also I have an email list, and so does John. I know that both of us are about to launch Patreons, and I'm about to launch an Indiegogo, and $5 goes a long way. A long way. If it's 5 times how many of you are in this room, that's gas in the tank, coffee in the mug. That's a couple bucks I can give to Chase. Email and following us on social media and interacting with us, that is really important for us. Yeah.
Great, well, thank you.
Thank you.